Hey everybody, this is Dan from Star Period Star, and one of the reasons why I am making this video is because I've had a few comments from people when they've come across our newer releases that they didn't know we were still around, and we're kind of having a hard time finding information about us. So I wanted to make some YouTube videos just to tell you about the last two albums that we had produced. Also, I wanted to talk about these two particular albums because they were kind of written or created to be companion pieces to each other. So initially, the first idea was that we'd do a double album, and it seemed prohibitively expensive. And I also don't want to be rushed into trying to write enough material for a double album because I wanted to I knew that if I took more time with it, the end product for both would be much better. So anyway, there's two albums loosely based on the idea of different moments in U.S. history, which is very different subject matter for Star Period Star. But anyway, the first album was called Daylight Spending Time in that series. And now I'm going to talk about the companion piece to that, which is Twilight Saving Time. And also, I should probably mention that the artwork here was created by Sean Worrell from Oregon Magazine. If you are in the UK, you may have heard of him. And so he did a beautiful job. He does a lot of paintings that are kind of square-shaped, which is perfect for album cover art. I'll pop out the CD so you can kind of see the rest of this is like kind of the lyrics and the credits here, using all his art for the background of that. So yeah, he was involved in that. He's known about us and been very supportive of us since the 90s when we started the band in Chicago. As I mentioned in the other video, I reformed the band in Savannah, and I explained that story a little bit more in the other video, which I will try to provide a link to that so you can kind of learn about both albums and get a little caught up on the history of the band. This particular lineup continued with Pat Hamilton and Greg Stark formerly from the band Sinister Mustache. And then in between that last album and this is our current album, we got a new drummer from Connecticut, and a guy named Chris Angeletti, and a very talented drummer. He was in some different groups up north. New might have been one of them. I will have to look that up. But he was perfect for the band because he immediately understood where we were coming from. It was like talking to an old friend the first time I talked to him. And then he also suggested Guy Wallace, who's a very talented keyboardist, and I like his singing voice a lot too. And he helped played an important role in doing adding some more vocals to the band, which is something I've always wanted to do. So this album has it still has all that complexity and all the kind of bizarre the time signatures and the unusual chords and things that you hopefully have come to love about the band. There's some of the polyrhythmic stuff going on as well. But there's a little bit more of an emphasis on songs, and songs that people can kind of sing along to more. So there's that element as well. And I think part of the reason for that was really my desire. I love 70s pop music. I love all that stuff, like, from everything from, try to think of examples, like Todd Rundgren and Carole King and just all those different people. There was so much music that came out around that time that the melodies were really catchy to me. So I was trying to kind of conjure up that kind of vibe with it. Also, a technical thing for the musicians out there is, since Daylight Spending Time, the previous album, and this album here, due to Greg Stark came up with the idea of using the C9 guitar tuning, which lended itself to creating lots of really lush, beautiful chord progressions very easily, which, having beautiful chord structures, also help in being able to write better melodies. I think it really helped quite a bit, and it got very inspired. So again, it continues the whole kind of history of the U.S. kind of themes. Jefferson's and Lewis's Artichokes is kind of something you could look up. There's a lot of like little what do they call them? Little Easter eggs throughout the album, things that you can discover, and maybe years later you'll go, wow, now I get it. I understand what they're talking about. Some things are a little bit more straightforward, but there's definitely a lot of topics that have never been really discussed in rock songs before, like Poison Squad in particular. It kind of talks about food regulations, which is kind of weird, but it's also a very catchy song, and there's like a couple of references to joking kind of references to Math and Genesis hit song. Anyway, there's a lot there too. One of the things about the band is if you listen to the band repeatedly and really examine the music more deeply, there's a lot there for you, both lyrically and musically. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of meaning behind what's going on. Things are not just done for the sake of being weird, but there's also oftentimes an idea or something connecting all this stuff together. Conceptually and musically as well. Anyway, so this is the album. It's on Digipack CD, and we also created a bonus CD. If anybody gets there's like an enhanced version, deluxe version of this, and with that you get this bonus CD. So it's going to be songs that didn't make it onto the album, or improvs, live versions of songs, different versions of the songs with different solos and things in them, so like alternate versions of the songs. And if you're going with the deluxe version, there's also a poster that comes with it, and I don't have too many of these left anymore. I'm supposing this is going to show up backwards. I'm sorry about that. Not sure how to fix that. But anyway, this is a poster that goes with it. If you get the deluxe edition, you get that. You get the bonus CD and the Digipack CD, and then also any orders of the CDs in any form, whether you just get the Digipack by itself or you get the deluxe edition or whatever, will come with some stickers too, full color stickers. So anyway, I think that covers it. I guess the only other thing I should mention, did I have some special guests? And indeed, and I didn't remember to mention this on the last album, but Ron Jagielnik has been on a special guest on every album, and he is on this one as well. But we also got Emily Hay, who's the flute player and singer in U Totem and Motor Totemist Guild. So some of you who listen to some of the Rock in Opposition music would recognize her. She's on the song Albright Mather, a little song that kind of, I was trying to write an acoustic epic. So what would it be like to have a song where it's primarily acoustic, but it's a longer piece? So it's kind of a little bit influenced by, on that song, a little bit by Steve Howe. But I thought, well, what if we stretched it out and had a whole band involved and made a more epic piece with there's a lot of crescendos and dropping back down again and new crescendos. And Emily plays flute did a beautiful job on that. And a little bit of Gastro del Sol influence for those of you who ever paid attention to any of that kind of math rocky type stuff coming out of Chicago. There's a little bit of influence in there, right? I could probably mention a bunch of different things. So it's kind of an unusual album because you still have the dissonant, sections in places, and some of the more complex, bizarre stuff. There's a lot of dynamics on this album, a lot of really quiet parts, and then things explode again, but there's also a pop sensibility to it. You know, songs like Twilight Saving Time, the last tune on the album, All on Fire, Poison Squad, they've got kind of a poppier side to them. And there's even a little bit of Brazilian influence in Capoeira Hangover. So you're going to get a little bit a variety, but I also was very happy with this album as far as the flow of the whole thing. And just for me personally, everybody's going to have a different opinion about what they like about our band. But this is my personal favorite album of the 5 studio albums that we've created throughout the years, because I just feel like every album is different, and every album is trying to accomplish something different, so it's hard to compare them to each other. But I'm just thinking in terms of what I was hoping to achieve and what I actually got in the end. I was the most satisfied with this album of them all. So anyway, I'm going to provide a Bandcamp link, and if you are used to or like ordering things on Bandcamp, they are the best for the artists. That is the best thing for us if you order through them. If you are in Europe, you can order at Musea, and that would be the best way for you to go, and because the shipping costs will be much more reasonable for you. We purposely shipped off copies to Musea in France so that all our European fans and friends can order our stuff through them and not have to pay insane shipping costs. Also, the prior album, I forgot to mention, is also available in Europe as well. And so there are a couple of things you could do. You can either click the Bandcamp link and order there, or if you are in Europe or just don't want to order through Bandcamp, you'd rather do it some other way and deal with us directly, write me an email at star@yahoo.com. There's no spaces, no underscores. It's just star spelled out in words at yahoo.com. And we will work out some kind of arrangement for you to be able to get our music. Anyway, thank you for your support throughout the years. It is appreciated way more than you ever would realize. And so anyway, check everything out and reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you.